And a very special who would win today. Happy birthday to Quentin Blake's son. Or Quentin Blake's son, sorry about that. Quentin Blake's friend. Should be noting that this is not Quentin Blake's birthday, but Quentin Blake's friend. I'm not calling you out, Quentin Blake. There's a reason your friend gave me this suggestion. Because, it would make more sense if the friend gave me the suggestion, apart from just continually suggesting one that you've been suggesting. That said, I'm going to hold you to your word and say that they also wanted this. They just don't have a YouTube account. That's what I'm going to go with. But regardless, I'll still do it, obviously. And this is, you asked the suggestion, who win a fight? Ben 10 versus Dragon Ball Super Vegeta. But a very specific version of Ben 10. You asked, basically, for me to do a version of Ben who had this roster of aliens to him. That would be Accelerate, Forearms, Way Big, Wrath, Feedback, Atomics, and Alien X. Mind you, that is only, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 aliens? I mean, you couldn't give a full roster of 10? But the thing is, with that roster of aliens, Quentin, you are only asking, basically, you're basically just saying, okay, who would win in a fight? Alien X /Feedback versus Vegeta. Because let's be very clear right now, not one single one of those other aliens could take on a Dragon Ball Super character on the level of Vegeta at that point. Vegeta, who we're actually getting in the next death battle with Thor, was the crown for Saiyan Prince, Saiyan Warrior, Saiyan Super Saiyan, all that. Let's cut all the way over to Dragon Ball Super. Now, I don't generally talk about the manga that much because it's not canon. Because not only is it not canon to the anime, which is what most people tend to go to when they think of Vegeta, but it follows like a lot of different story points that granted get you to the same spot, but are so different that I can never use them in what ifs, because the way the story plays out in the manga is vastly different than what it plays out in the anime. That being said, if I didn't use Ultra Ego Vegeta in this, I'd get crucified. Like Goku, obviously he has all his key attacks, heightened speed, strength, all that. But like Goku, he trained and absorbed God Ki into his base. This allows him basically to have the power of God in his base form without even accessing his God Ki. He has a Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue, and Ultra Ego that he can attain on a level of power where it is actually difficult to say where Vegeta's level of power at this point lies. He's well into the universal level. Like, this is a character whose overall power threatens the universe if he were to clash, say, with Beerus or something like that. When you're going into like Ultra Ego, which is apparently using like Divine Destroyer Ki, read someone in the comment section say that he's actually low multiversal at this point, probably the same as Goku. And honestly, it's not far-fetched to think that, based on, because even at just the base Super Saiyan God that Goku was, he was already a universal level threat. And the Dragon Ball universe is like 9 times larger than our own universe, at least according to the scale Death Battle uses. And Goku, at that low, just initially attained power level of God, was able to threaten that macrocosm. So, if you factor in years of training with this power, heightened forms, it's not unreasonable to think that, no, Vegeta's probably well beyond that at this point. He's probably more closer to a multiversal threat, multiversal level of power. There's nothing really to say about, like, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue. They don't add any extra abilities. They just amp his power insanely high. Whereas Ultra Ego, it is actually a power amp with an ability. Not only does his power increase, but it's basically a form where the more damage he takes and sustains, the more it increases and jacks up his power already. The only problem is this is a form where he basically has to give into the battle lust of things. So he loses a little bit of self-control and he loses a little bit of rationale, but he's basically just giving into he's putting on I got distracted. I just lost my train of thought. Damn it. The form is one of those forms where he loses he gives himself into the battle, he loses his train of thought, not train of thought like I did. He loses his some self-control, his rationale, all that. So he's a little bit more easier to overcome in a fight against someone who can actually strategize. Also, he can take way too much damage, and it can overwhelm him. So Vegeta is not infallible. He's been beaten multiple times. The only two aliens that are really going to matter in this fight are Alien X and I think words here. Feedback. So, and why is that? Well, because Accelerate is by all none of the other aliens have any level of universal power. Waybig might come the closest, but Waybig doesn't really have universal power. Waybig could probably blow up a planet if he actually had to, but that's if he had to. And that's a planet versus the universe. And again, his size makes him very much detriment, as we saw with Goku fighting Bergamo in his fight with him, where he was able to just hide in his blind spots. Vegeta would just do the same. Hell, even base form Vegeta could take on Waybig. Feedback and Alien X are the two exceptions. Feedback, mostly because of his energy absorbing capabilities, instead of being to absorb the power of a second Big Bang. Now, that said, Vegeta actually has power beyond that. Because it's not really, I don't really know if it's how much power did the Big Bang have? That's a good question. How much power? There we go. How much power did this? They almost gave it. Did the Big Bang release? There we go. Let's see. It released 1,068 joules. The Big Bang that began the universe is estimated to have released that much. How many stars could half this energy create? Assuming the anyway. So that's how much the energy the Big Bang actually released. But keep in mind, that's essentially the energy of a single universe. Now, the Dragon Ball Super universe, Dragon Ball Z's universe, is bigger than our universe. So you have to assume that whatever created that universe in terms of like a Big Bang-like effect, if that universe had a Big Bang, it would have been much larger. And Vegeta, whereas Ben 10's universe, by all accounts, is just our universe with aliens in it. Whereas Vegeta, for all it's worth, has the power to destroy our universe several times over, easy, at this point in his career. So he's definitely got an edge over Feedback in terms of the amount of power he can produce. So it's a question of, is Feedback capable of absorbing as much energy as Vegeta is capable of producing otherwise? I just don't know. We've never seen what the max capability of Feedback is. We saw him absorb basically the equivalent of a Big Bang in his universe. But the question is, can he absorb more? If we are to assume he can absorb more, Vegeta would pretty much figure that out very quickly. As, Feedback would try to throw energy at him. If he had to, he'd go into Ultra Ego, take the energy back, and then just start wailing on him physically. Even though Feedback is durable, he can't take the power of a universe physically beating him in the face, breaking his face. Now, granted, the Omnitrix itself will try to prevent Ben from dying by selecting the appropriate alien. But the only aliens we have here are as such. So the only alien to really try to save himself is, the only alien he has to save himself is, I'm going to take that off again for a little bit, is Alien X. So it really comes down to Alien X versus Ultra Ego Vegeta, because that's where it's ultimately going to end. Alien X is one of the most broken mother effers in any real legend, because Alien X can do pretty much anything. Alien X can change reality to his whim. The question just becomes, are we getting a version of Alien X that Ben has complete control over? Or are we getting a version of Alien X where Ben has to freaking negotiate every little task? So, if it's one where he has to negotiate every little task, the problem is Alien X is beyond multiversal. Alien X's are outerversal beings, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on. How strong is Alien X? What is the general consensus from the fandom? Because if Alien X is only maybe a multiversal, maybe outerversal or whatever, Vegeta might still be able to win in theory. How strong is Alien X? Okay. Is omnipotent, being able to warp to reality, time, and space with ease at any level you wish. Even his thoughts can become real. And so Alien X can do anything. Alien X can recreate an entire universe at will. What dimensional level is Alien X? He's 5th dimensional, which means third dimensional, which I'm guessing means he's beyond multiverse. He's probably outerversal. A fraction of celestial DNA is shown to cut through a barrier. The 5 is described as extra dimensional. That's how they're described, which means they're probably beings that are beyond multiversal, but there's no distinct way of figuring out exactly what they are in the show. I'm sure power level power level scalars have been able to figure out what versal level he is at. Point is, he is beyond Vegeta and can basically just do things Vegeta can't do and has no immediate protection for. Reality warping, time manipulation, space manipulation, creating thoughts out of nothing. Like, he could literally think Vegeta out of existence if he really wanted to. This is a level of power Vegeta just isn't capable of handling. Now, that being said, Vegeta might have enough willpower to resist some of it, but it would just be a battle of attrition for a little bit till Vegeta tires out, because Vegeta can tire out and Alien X can't. So, ultimately, yeah, it's gonna just be Vegeta losing this fight. And that's really the only reason. Alien X. Feedback could give Vegeta some trouble for a little bit, but Vegeta is smart enough, even in Ultra Ego, to be like, I can't, and just suddenly appear in front of feedback and say, so I can't use my energy against you. Oh, well, I guess we'll have to do this the old-fashioned way. Lucky for you, I like the old-fashioned way. And then just completely throttle feedback. So, that would be my guess, is that the only alien Ben has in this scenario that could do anything legitimately is Alien X, and that alien is so overpowered that, I'd see a very rare scenario where that alien loses any fight. So yeah, I would go Ben only because of Alien X. Because let's be honest, Vegeta I think has enough power to threaten a Celestial Sapien in terms of actually being able to harm it. So if he started to harm a Celestial Sapien Ben, an Alien X Ben, while he's in argument, and the other two personalities sense this, they're like, this guy actually poses a somewhat threat to our existence. Huh. All right, Ben, we'll give you this one. Take care of this guy first, then we'll talk it out. And then, boop, okay, whip. It's like, all right, oh, you're so cute as a baby. So, yeah, or he just Thanos him out of existence. So, yeah, I've yet to meet many characters who could actually 1v1 take on Alien X. There are some out there who have that level of power, certainly. I'd say Darkseid's probably one of them who has a level of power to directly go toe-to-toe with an Alien X, or a Celestial Sapien. Not necessarily win, but at least go toe-to-toe. And don't get me wrong, I'd still say Vegeta could go toe-to-toe with Darkseid. I'm not saying he'd beat him. I'm just saying he could go toe-to-toe. Yeah, you're talking about characters who, but Darkseid's so much more than what Vegeta is. not just in terms of power, but in terms of what he actually can, is as a being. So, you're looking at beings like that are the kind of characters who would have to be able to take on Alien X, Molecule Man, the Beyonder. Those are the kind of characters we're talking about need to be fighting Alien X to have a shot at beating him. But anyway, I digress. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I got what if to do later today, and I got to pre-record a couple of videos because I'm finally going back to work tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.